Again, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Whoop, whoop. Warm-up 50 should come up on the screen. There it is. I'm going to give you, now for measures of variation, you should be experts at those. I'm going to give you, 6 minutes? All right. Make sure you get your bell curve, come up with a conclusion. Set all your stuff on side, please. You have your time with your mobiles and stuff, so set that aside. Stay focused. Today we are moving on, so lock in, please. All right, check with the neighbors, see what they got, please. They should be done by now. All right. So by now we know that the measures of variation are range, variance, and standard deviation. Yes? And just to avoid any confusion, we know that the variance is a number right before we take the square root to get our standard deviation. All right, so the range, we got 5. Hands if you got 5. All right, good. The range. Okay. And then our mean for our bell curve, let's see, M, bless you. M, let's go with, thank you. M, let's go with Yozgard. What'd you get for the mean? .4. Oh yes, 3.4. Not bad. Not bad. Variance. Let's see. Pass on Yozgard for the variance. Aaron, what'd you get? .44. Hands if you got 3.44 for the variance. All right, looks about right. Standard deviation, what did you get for standard deviation? Let's pass it to Isaiah. Square root of 3.44 is 1.85 approximately. Put the wiggles on these. So that brings us to 5.25 and 1.55. All right. By now we know that this is the norm. So it's said to come up with a conclusion. Tell your neighbor a conclusion according to the context. It was 5 of the most common sold items at Wendy's are priced as follows. There are the prices rounded to the nearest dollar. Tell your neighbor a conclusion. Then Isaiah's going to pass someone. All right, Isaiah. Pass it. Sammy, conclusion. Two items are not in the norm. What items are that? Or are those? 1 and 6. Hands if you got that or something similar. That is correct. All right. So with that said, copy the agenda, please. Warm-up 50 is done. Measures of variation. And your home plate for tonight, page 143, number 6. But you're using the shortcut formula. Today we're going to be hammering that out just to make sure we got it. Oh, yeah. Be nice. Be nice, Levi. All right, we good? All right, 2x is the home play. ZKNJ3. Write that down. ZKNJ3. 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 All right? I asked you last night to study your formulas. Is that correct? Yeah, because we're going to be adding some more to those. Woo. Tonight's home play, those 3 problems. Only 3. All right, get a Cornell note ready, please. I can summarize and compute the measure of variation. I can summarize that data and compute the measures of variation. So, by now we are experts at measures of variation. So, on your screen, fill in that graph, please. Fill it in. 20 seconds. Oh, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, 31 seconds. Levi's all right. All right, here goes one from one of your colleagues. Check your work. So, central tendency, variation, and we're pretty soon going to get into measures of position. So make sure you stay locked in. So far, these are our formulas, 11 of them, yes? Okay? Now, I left you guys a video lesson to do the intro on shortcut formulas. And I'm pretty sure you took copious notes. But before we get there, we can use any of these formulas for this kind of problem, right? Find 5 of the most common sold items at Wendy's, blah, 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 blah. Here's the rounded in dollars. Can we find the measure of variation for that? Yes, right? We did that for the warm-up. But today, we're going to use the same problem, but we're going to find the measures using the shortcut formulas. And these are the shortcut formulas. So do me a favor, go back to your formulas at the end of your notebook, see if you have those 2. If you don't, add those to your formulas. The reason I didn't include these on the pop parte because I hadn't reviewed them with you. However, for the next pop parte, there won't be any excuses, right? If you already have them, you don't have to add them. You already have them. So there they are. Write those down, please. Okay? How about now? How about now? Anyways, Levi and Mila, good job. So I saw you guys putting in work last night. Keep it up. Good. We saw them like running like crazy people. Wow, be nice. All right, do me a favor, send me a picture of your formulas. I want to make sure that you are taking copious notes. Do that right now. All right, thank you for sending that in. All right, here we go. So, example super Q. I want you to write that problem onto your notebook again, but just write the data. You don't have to write the whole thing since you already have the warm-up. And it reads, as you're copying down that data on your notebook, example super Q reads, compute the measures of variation, sketch a bell curve, and write a conclusion. Use shortcut formulas. And it says, 5 of the most sold items at Wendy's are priced as follows. Round to the nearest dollar. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. If you notice, I arranged them in ascending order. All right? So, first things first. This is what I want you to do. I want you to label that data. So like that, everybody is following the formula. Let's label the data X. That's what X are. Okay, I said just copy the data onto your notebook. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And you labeled it X. Next, in red, I want you to write X squared. Tell your neighbor what that means. What does that mean? All those numbers squared, is that correct? So what is 1 squared? 1. 2 squared is, and 9, 25, 36. All right. All right, so to find the variance, focus please. I'm going to write my formula on the side. Write it on the side, please. S squared equals n times sigma, or the sum of x squared, close parentheses, minus, open parentheses, sigma, or the sum, total sum of x, close parentheses, squared, focus please, and then n times n minus 1. So this is the information that we need. First things first, I'm going to highlight inside of the first parentheses in pink. If you have red or pink, highlight it in red or pink. So I need the sum of all x squares. So look up, please. That means that I need to look up, find the sum of all x squares. So, here we go. What is 36 plus 25 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1? My computation is correct. That's 50, 61, 75. Is that correct? Double check my work. Ooh, I'm in fuego. Next, highlight the other parentheses inside, which says the sum of all what? X's. So that means we go above to all the x's, and we need to find the sum of all x's. And what does that give you? Tell your neighbor what that gives you, please. 17. That is correct. And before we continue, look up. Tell your neighbor what n, I'm going to do blue for n. What does n mean? What does n mean? Let's see. Let's go with Sam. What does n mean? N. No, the variance was s squared. Population is something else. Total number of numbers. Label that, please, so you won't forget. Total number of numbers. How many total number of numbers do we have, people? For x? 5. That's going to be our n. So now that we have all our components, we're going to substitute into the formula for the variance. So write s squared equals blank, parentheses, minus, parentheses, squared, over blank, parentheses, blank, minus 1. Start with n. N is 5. We're still not there yet. All right, here we go. N is 5, 5, and 5. What is the sum of all x squares? The sum of all x squares was 75. What was the sum of all x's? 17. And the rest is cake, computation. Here we go. Variance 5 times 75, that's 375, I believe. Double check. Oh my goodness. Double check my, I'm going so fast that the computer is like glitching on me. Here we go. Or as we said back in the 90s, basketball, I'm in the zone right now. 375 minus 17 times 17, that should be 289. 17 times 17 is 289 over 5 times 5 minus 1, which is 4. So 5 times 4 is 20. Yes, thank you. So 375 minus 289, that's 86. Is that correct? Divided by 20. And that gives us an approximation of 4 yeah, you're close. 4.3. All right? So, now all we need is our standard deviation. Tell your neighbor what to do for standard deviation. At the end, we do what? Square root. So tell your neighbor what you got. Square root of 4.3. And Karime is going to enlighten us. Square root of 4.3. Yeah, you are. Square root of 4.3. Yeah. 2.07. All right. So, what are we missing for our variance? We just missed our range. The range is 6 minus 1 is 5. All right. So, we got our range. We got our standard deviation. And we got our variance, which is 4.3. Last but not least, bell curve. And we said that the mean was what on the warm-up? What was it? 3.4. 1 standard deviation up. 2.707, so that's 5.47. And the other way is 1.33. All right. So, according to this norm now, tell your neighbor what we see. Then we'll have Sam pass it to someone. What do we see with that new norm? All right, Sebastian, what is our conclusion for this data right here according to the norm? 2 prices are out of the norm. 10Q. From 1 to 5, I'll come to where you using the shortcut formula. Isn't that a little bit like easier or a little bit simpler? Can I actually what? This is a shortcut. I know. All right. So with that said, now that you have the work, send me your notes, please. I want to make sure that you're taking copious notes. All right. So with that said, there's a home plate in front of you. For those of you following on YouTube, put some work in. Shouldn't take you long. And I'll stop the video right here. See you guys next time. Peace.